All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people, and welcome to News Roundup in Biafran land. Yes, this is the Let's Talk TV News Roundup in Biafran land, where we'll give you all the main issues happening on this day in Biafran land. So, on the early hours of today, please make sure you share this video because there are people who needs to know what is happening in Biafran land. So let us go straight up to the issue. On the early hours of today, there was an earthquake in Biafran land. In a menu, you know, the Biafran Liberation Army. Oh well, let me not use Biafran Liberation Army. The Biafran Defense Forces, did what they are known for doing, securing the territory of Biafran land. That was a quick response to the IDP incident that the Nigerian government are trying to bring in refugees into the camp. When I hear this story, I drop the news, even with videos. Make una see say men are not smiling at all. So then go knock the IDP center that was actually brought out to house the refugees. And they went further. Not just doing that, they went further to also knock the house of the person who is running the IDP, the refugee thing in Biafran land. So that is that on that issue. We already know about that. And the information is on our news channel. You can check for the videos on this channel or on our backup channel, Expose News TV. Also, the Prime Minister, the Biafran Prime Minister, in the person of Simon Èkpá Njoko, yesterday made a very strong statement. Well, Biafrans actually know this statement already, and he made it officially that Independence Day has been banned in Biafran land. So it is official, and that was why, looking at what the ordeal that happened in Biafran land today, Biafrans actually went about their normal businesses, and every Biafran, every institution belonging to the federal government was on total shutdown. That is how Biafrans, have come to respect the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá. When they see him as Nnamdi Kanu, they see authority. That is the most important thing. So that actually happened. And let me tell you the truth, without mincing words, a lot of people, over 50 million Biafrans, at least we have a figure. Over 50 million Biafra have actually keyed into the struggle and are obeying every order from the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá. So it was official in Biafran land. There was nothing like Independence Day in Biafran land. That is how official it was. Yeah, that was how official it was. Now, moving out then from the issue of Independence Day and the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá, there is an information, a very serious information coming to us. The Nigerian police have come out to say that they Kpai a gunman in Anambra state and recover 3 rifles, Prado Jeep, and charms. How true is this? That is the big question. Now let us go into this particular news. The Nigerian police Kpai gunman in Anambra recover 3 rifles, Prado Jeep, and charms, among others. The operatives also recovered 2 magazines loaded with live ammunition, 15 live cartridges, 2 police body armored vests, The Anambra State Command of the Nigerian Police Force has said that its operatives on Sunday night spied a gunman suspected to be a secessionist fighter and recovered two AK-47 rifles, one pump-action gun, a Prado Jeep with two different plate numbers. The police and public relations officer in the state, SP Tochukwu Ikenga, who made this known in a statement issued in Awka, the state capital, on Monday, said that the operatives also recovered two magazines loaded with live ammunition, 15 live cartridges, two police body armored vests, among others. He also said that at 11:30 p.m. on Sunday, the police led security force while on patrol within Agwata local government area of the state got information of suspected armed men sighted in a black-colored Prado Jeep along Iboukwu Ezinite Oga axis. He said the operatives on an offensive approach to the scene engaged the armed men in a gun battle and demobilized one of the miscreants while others escaped. So that is that on that issue. Yes, and they talk to the men then wear audacious. But why are they bringing propaganda? Why are they bringing propaganda? If they see all these political thugs that have been equipped by this so-called government, was it not their election that was held few days ago? Their election was held few days ago. So there would have been a possibility of these thugs, being used by these politicians, to carry out their evil atrocities. And once they catch these thugs, they term them as the indigenous people of Biafra or freedom fighters or secessionist group. That is bizarre from the Nigerian police. And lastly, on News Roundup today, Nnamdi Kanu's release now a national priority, says Barrister Aloy Ejimako. Yes, we're still pushing for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, and believe me, everything currently that the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá is doing, one of the paramount thing is for the release of Onyindu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. His lawyer have said it is a national priority, and that is exactly what it is, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu still and will still be the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, a man that Biafrans respect so much. That is that on News Roundup. Let us go into other informations that will be given out to you today on News Roundup. God bless you once again for joining us on this Biafra News Roundup today.
The last tweet of the Prime Minister, the last tweet of this very current development says that every Biafran, according to him, he said, Biafrans can go about their businesses. That was the last tweet of this very latest development. So please, and if you go through the official X account of the Prime Minister, you see that the first tweet got almost 50,000, seen or views, whatever you can call it. Now, if you go to the flyer itself, the flyer which he shared yesterday, was it yesterday or 28? Sorry, 28, which has 26K views from my end. I don't know how many it has from your end. Now, when you go to the new one, the latest one, which is the last update he made over this very effect, it's got about 30K views, right? Meaning that the first one that has over 50K views from my side has already, gotten the minds of our people more than the latest one. This is what I want you to understand here. More than the latest one. So it is very, very imperative that we educate our people, let them understand what the Prime Minister is trying to say. According to the last tweet, he said that Biafrans can go about their businesses. But the zoo institutions will remain shut down. Will remain shut down tomorrow. So when you bring it back to what I said initially, which I said is going to be I said tomorrow will be very, very, important and significant in the life of every Biafran. What does that mean? That means that as we shut down all the zoo institutions tomorrow, which is not just because of the 30-day lockdown, which is going on as it stands today, but this one is strictly attack on the zoo, which is going to send, signal to the entire world that the people of this very area, the people from this area, have not only rejected the zoo, but also let the zoo know how important, how significant, how they cherish their freedom, how important it is to be free, to have freedom, to be free from, from slavery. So, for us to abandon the zoo Independence Day celebration is another shocker. It's going to be another shocker to the zoo, to Tinubu, to the ministers, to the governors, to every single thing that represents Nigerian state in the world at large, not just in Biafra land or in Nigeria, but at worldwide. So please, it is very, very important that our people get this message. The reason why we will boycott anything that has to do with the zoo independence is because we are no longer Nigerians. Therefore, we cannot celebrate Nigeria. And more importantly, as far as the zoo is concerned, the zoo represents death. I want you to listen. The Nigeria state as it stands today represents death. And we cannot celebrate our death. Nigeria has murdered our people, buying our people, and they keep on buying our people on a regular basis. In fact, this is now a routine thing. They have murdered our people on regular basis. Therefore, the zoo itself represents death, and we cannot afford to celebrate our own, passing away. We can't celebrate our own unaliving. Let me use the word they use on TikTok. Are you paying attention? So, when you see something which is, destroying your life, The only option you have is to stay away from it. That is the only option you have. To stay away from it completely. Because failure to stay away from it, you may not even live to regret it. You may not live to regret it. So there is no any celebration within Biafra land tomorrow. Now, I want to play this very video just to remind the zoo, had it been that they listened to this very man 7 years ago, this very issue wouldn't have gotten to this very level that it is today.
It's spiritual. You can't fight an ideology with gun and bullet. Let me explain this. Sit down before we pray. I'm worried. Some people want to fight an ideology. How do you fight an ideology? An ideology is like a spirit. You can't fight an ideology. You can't use gun and bullet to stop an ideology. The way to deal with an ideology, you engage it with wisdom. The only bullet that can kill an ideology is the bullet of knowledge. Wisdom. Wisdom. The only way to deal with the ideology is to go back to the founder of the ideology and reprogram the ideology and stand at the central processing unit of the ideology and make sure it is rightfully corrected. If you remove the leader, have you removed the ideology? There are more crazy Nnamdi Kanu that will come up after Nnamdi.
The zoo, did you hear that? The Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, did you hear that? If you remove Nnamdi Kanu, there are more people crazier than Nnamdi Kanu who will come up. How many of you remember one idiot that called himself prophet? One idiot that called himself a prophet, who was making a video a couple of months ago when there was a rumor of release of Nnamdi Kanu, when the governors were parabolating, gallivanting all over the places, claiming to have or to go and meet Tinubu for him to release Nnamdi Kanu to them. One idiot came out and claimed to be a prophet. He said that Simon Èkpá is parasite 1, Nnamdi Kanu is parasite 2. So you cannot release parasite 2 without parasite 1. How many of you remembered it? How many of you saw that video? Although sometime in the past, I also told you that the man was correct. Although he claimed to be a prophet, or claimed to be, speaking prophetically, but there is nothing like prophecy there. It has absolutely nothing to do with prophecy. It's true. That is the truth. That is the truth. Cancer 1 and Cancer 2, which is going to, tagidezu, tapiaya, tabunyoya, mad people everywhere, mokoko. Is it parasite or cancer? I don't remember. Either parasite or cancer, he said. Cancer 1, Cancer 2, parasite 1, parasite 2, whatever. Is going to eat the zoo until the zoo is finished. I concur. It is true. Cancer 1 and Cancer 2, or parasite 1 and parasite 2, whatever. You understand? So, now, if the zoo, if they were told, when they were busy spending billions of worthless naira to lay their filthy hands on Nnamdi Kanu, the man that Chukwokika Abịama blessed. And they thought it was going to end there. They thought it was going to end there. Somebody's asking me if I mean Primate Ayodele. No, it's not Ayodele. That one, you made me even call the name of some irrelevant idiots. Not even that one. Not that one that called himself Primate Ayodele or whatever he called himself. There's another one. I don't remember his name. Somebody can remind me on comment section because I know that many of you watched the video. It's just recently. And forget those names they are answering. Primate, the pastor, prophet, all those nonsensical. None of them is primate. None of them is pastor. None of them, I said, none of them is prophet. None, not even one person. None of them. If there is a true, prophet in the zoo, there are no more than one person. So forget those Oka Fanebu Wanketa. Prophet Ikuru, I think it sounds like that. Somebody said Prophet Ikuru. Maybe your Coco. So it's not a prophecy, it's reality. As they have grabbed the cancer one, even in their own custody, is eating them up. Is eating them up in their own custody. And they haven't dealt with it. They are busy looking for cancer too. You see? So, this very man, Iginla, who was advising the zoo many years ago, if you ask me, I will still tell you that there is nothing like prophecy there. This is not against Iginla. It's not against him. There is nothing like prophecy there. Because even the layman, even the little baby who was knowledgeable enough to understand what was going on as at that time can, picture the future. I'm saying a little baby, a newborn baby who was aware, who has the ability to know what was happening as at that time, could have been able to picture the future. So it has nothing to do with, prophecy, but I am not against Iginla because every single thing he said on this video and the other one he was saying dialogue now were all true. Were all true. Not prophecy, because even as at then, somebody who does not claim to be a prophet would have known, what is going to happen.
They are just hiding under him. The only way to kill this is not by gun and bullet. It's by engaging with proper dialogue, with knowledge and wisdom.
Now, on their own side, the one Nigerianists, on their own side, they are telling the zoo to dialogue with the Biafra agitators, Nnamdi Kanu, in order to settle him, and Nigeria continues the way it is. On their own part, because I watched another of his video. I don't know if he's here. I don't know if that part is also here. There's another of his video. He said that he is not in support of the breakup of Nigeria because he's a full Nigerian. He said it. Iginla said it. You understand me? So now, a prophecy does not come as as a probability or under probability. Prophecy does not come with probability. Yes, I think that is the right word. Prophecy does not come, can never come with probability. It is not possible. Prophecy will come boom and tell you this is what God said and this is what is going to happen. So time, so day. Because when you talk about prophecy, that means God is speaking. It does not come with probability. It does not come with assumption. You understand me? Prophecy is the word of God that says this is what is going to happen. And there is no any other solution because it's going to happen. It is only one place in the Bible that I saw that God said somebody is going to die. The person went to face wall and started crying to God, and God extended his age. Only one place. Every other places you talk about prophecy, it is one thing. Once they say this is what is going to happen, it will happen. Right? That is prophecy. It does not come with alternative. There is no any alternative for prophecy. This is something that people do not know. No alternative for prophecy. No. It doesn't have alternative. If God has told any man of God, I'm not talking, this is not for Iginla. I'm not here to criticize Iginla. Get it right, please. When God tells any prophet, any of his child, go and tell whoever that is the president of the zoo that the zoo will disintegrate. It is like that. It is done and dusted. There is nothing will make the zoo not to disintegrate, just as God has told his prophet, Nnamdi Kanu. Now, the same way God told his prophet that the zoo will break. And since then, Nnamdi Kanu has remained consistent, knowing fully well that word that his father told him, that same word God told him will come to pass. That's why he is standing firm in his conviction that a time is fast approaching where the zoo will come to an end, because his father had told him. It doesn't come with assumption or probability. No. It's not that God say you should go and have dialogue with us so that the zoo should not break. There is nothing like no. There's nothing like, actually, to be honest with you, as a spiritual man that I am, there is absolutely nothing like that. God does not give assumption or alternative to his word. No. So let's continue. But remember, the bone of contention here is that if the zoo listened to this man and called for dialogue on our own favor, which is to know, to officially demarcate, to officially divide, to officially share our boundaries with the zoo, it would have been easier for them without this, the so-called, what they call today, violent agitation. It wouldn't have gotten there. It wouldn't have gotten there. So their own dialogue is different from our own dialogue. I don't know if you're paying attention. That's why we don't criticize them. somebody like Iginla, we don't criticize him. We take our own, the one that favors us, and we leave them with their own. Their own dialogue is to call their agitators and settle them, talk to them, calm them down, settle with them, and then the country moves on. That is their own dialogue. Our own dialogue is different. We are thinking, or we are coming from a different direction. Our own dialogue is to tell us, okay, you guys have drawn your map, you know your borders, okay, let us make it official. Boom, everybody goes their separate ways. That is our own dialogue, and that is where we stand. You understand? So that's why I said we take the one that is beneficial to us, and we leave their own, instead of us to criticize him. Let's continue.
This cry we are hearing here is not a cry of children, it's a cry of adults. The only way, I am not an advocate that Nigeria should separate, God forbid.
Good. Now, wow. To be honest with you, when I got this video recently, I think it was yesterday, or that I've watched the video before. But when I got this particular one that I'm playing now, I didn't listen, I didn't watch it till this moment. But I knew that this same man of God, at a point, there's a time he said he is not for Nigeria's breakup because he's a full-blooded Nigerian. And it's not even up to 1 minute. Boom. Let's listen again. So remember, I have made it clear that this analysis is not against Iginla. At least he tried. He tried to speak up than others, other criminals who are parading themselves as pastors in the zoo. Even bigger than him. Some bigger criminals. So he's even better than some other bigger, armed robbers who use Bible and microphone to deceive our people.
No. I am not an advocate that Nigeria should separate, God forbid. No. But I'm saying the best way to handle this, listen to the cry of the children. Sit down. Everything is not gun and bullet. When you take the leader away, okay, take the leader away. The next, how many people are on the street? Do you know how many spirit of Biafra have entered people? Do you know how many? Do you know how many millions are carrying the spirit of Biafra around? So if you kill the leader or you take the leader away, can you take the spirit from everybody?
Never.
Ojukwu is not here, but Biafra is alive.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ideology. The man who started it has left. Before he left, he kept quiet and lived peacefully and left. But the generation that have come have picked it up. And it's even worse than his own now. And they are engaging it with an idea, with knowledge.
And when this man said this, he said, and even worse than now, than as it is before. When this man said, we are talking about 7 to 8 years ago, when Nnamdi Kanu was detained, illegally detained in Kuje, when he was actually arrested in Lagos State, airport, international airport, Murtala Mohammed, airport hotel. So that is when this man was making these utterances, telling them that it is not about gun and bullets. And remember, that time we were not armed. IPOB members were being mauled on a daily basis. We were not armed. The zoo were having their field day. Anytime they hear protest from IPOB. Boom. They have come to suck blood that day. That day they have come to suck blood. And we were not armed. This man was telling them this thing, that even now, it is now even worse than Ojukwu them time. He was saying it, he never knew that we will be armed someday. And this is just 7 to 8 years ago. Right? 2017. 2017. Right? So, even he himself wasn't aware that the word he said that time in the name of prophecy will even go beyond what he said he saw. He never knew. So if the Zoological Republic was aware of what is going to be happening today, at least they would have paid attention to this man's word, even though they want to accept it as a prophecy. No problem.
But the generation that have come have picked it up, and it's even worse than his own now, and they are engaging it with an idea, with knowledge. So the best way to deal with this is not gun and bullet. It's not gun and bullet. When the revolution want to start, the revolutionists, the first thing they will do, they will pass the idea and impregnate their followers. The only way to stop it is to stop them before they impregnate the followers. But if the followers are impregnated, that's all. All of them are carrying pregnancy. They will soon deliver to other children. If you have 2 million Biafra, you already have 4 million Biafra. Because they are selling the ideology. And now, I don't have a problem. But my own concern is that you don't take woman's life. The best way to do that, you engage them in the ideology. If you feel the ideology is not correct, you dialogue. You sit down with them. If dignifying them will make them feel important, then do that.
Did you get that? That's why I told you we take our own and leave them with their own. He said, if dignifying them will make them important, then do that. So that what will happen, so that the country will continue. But we are not here for that. We are not here for that. We do not need anybody to dignify us. No. Hold your dignity or whatever they call it. Hold it. Eat it. Bath with it. Sleep with it. Eat it. That you may be belly full. We don't need your dignity or dignifying, whatever. We don't need it. Let us go and build our own dignity in our own home. As a free nation, as a free people. That is the most important thing to all of us. We know how to build dignity. We are Biafrans. Nobody can teach us how to build integrity or dignity. We know it better than every other person. We know it. We know it. Go and check record. We have more men of integrity and dignity all over the world. Go and check record. Go, just go and do your own research. So we know how to make name. We know how to build a name. We know how to build dignity. We know how to build integrity. So Fulani cannot come from Fota Jalon to give us dignity. Fulani or Tinubu, controlled by the Fulani, Bambiala, and Boko Haram, has no capacity to give us integrity. Never. So let us go and build our own dignity, that the whole world may come and pay homage. We have what it takes to do it. And they know. They know very well that we have what it takes to build the dignity. That's why they are fighting. They don't want us to do it. Because they don't want to be irrelevant. They don't want to be seen as irrelevant people. You know, in a more forma, onya anyukwu nọlụ n'akụkụ. Or if you na agba no bibo, how is this person doing this? How comes he is the one seen as as somebody who is so much important? How comes he's the one? How comes? The only thing that will be coming in their mind is how come? They wouldn't want to wait and learn from you in order to be like you. Rather, they will be asking themselves, why him? Why her? How come? But a wise person, a very wise person who wants to learn will take his time, learn from you. How are you doing it? And when they learned perfectly, they will come out as, they will come out as champions.